Help me, Obi-Wan. My PlaneWave focuser's broken. You are my only hope.
Use the Force. Nah, let's just call PlaneWave and make a warranty claim.
No, we can't do that. They never answer the phone. Let's send an email.
All right, let's get started right now. We have previously reviewed the PlaneWave telescope, and if you saw the earlier video, we gave the electronics a failing grade, but customer service was excellent. Unfortunately, we have to give PlaneWave another failing grade here for the focuser hardware. And in this video, we're going to walk you through the good, the bad, and the ugly aspects of having to replace a focuser when your telescope is at a remote facility. We feel that anyone looking to buy a PlaneWave telescope and invest more than $12,000 needs to know that the company seems to be having a lot of issues, but I don't want to jump ahead. And I'm really excited. Tonight I get to run my first official sequence.
We were so excited. It was our first night on the target, and the data that we were collecting using Nina looked great. But we noticed on the remote observatory camera that we had a potential cable snag. So we sent a message to DSP Remote, and that was remedied very quickly by Chris Fellows and his on-site servicing team. After that, everything powered up, guiding looked fine, and we were collecting a lot of good data. We were transferring the data in real time and started blinking the data using PixInsight, but then the focuser stopped responding mid-sequence.
We have our data collection software, Nina, configured to send us a message over Telegram if there is a failure. And we started getting messages about halfway through the sequence that something had gone wrong, so we aborted the sequence and began going through our usual checklist.
Nina was showing that it couldn't achieve focus, so the first thing we checked was the PlaneWave PWI4 software and saw that the focuser traveled to a position beyond 63,000, which made no sense. The range of the focuser is 1 to 30,000, so traveling to a position above 63,000 was a clear indication that something had gone terribly wrong. We tried power cycling and told the PlaneWave software to find the home position.
None of it brought the focuser back. We reached out to friends on the Nina Discord to determine if they had any solutions, but they reached the same conclusion that we had. The focuser was fully extended and would not self-correct, which sounded like a hardware failure. They directed us to a thread on the Astrobin webpage listing a number of known issues with the PlaneWave technology, and sure enough, the Hedrick focuser is identified as a known issue. Based on what we read about the known issues and the many other complaints about the warranty, we were very concerned. We created a video demonstrating that the PWI4 software was showing that the focuser was frozen at an absurd position that appeared to be beyond the normal range of travel, and sent that information to the PlaneWave support team. My fear was that we were going to have to buy a new focuser, and I began checking price positions for those focusers. I was not happy at all because the telescope is only a few months old and I paid more than $12,500 for this rig.
PlaneWave's service team was responsive right away. They walked us through tests and sent precise instructions for data to capture, what to measure, and how to check the focal motor and connectors.
We did all the recommended checks and followed their guidance step by step. We emailed logs and video clips, everything they wanted.
We kept a running thread of emails so PlaneWave could see the progression. It took multiple exchanges. Patience and clear documentation were key.
Ultimately, I've got to say, PlaneWave came through. They agreed that a replacement was the best route, and they sent the new focuser directly to DSP Remote, free of charge. They told me that they were testing it in advance, and that they were going to send us some product packaging to replace the old focuser.
The focuser replacement was expertly handled by Chris Fellows at DSP Remote.
Chris did the swap, the QA checks and bench testing, everything performed like new. So we ran the autofocus and it found the focus point in the expected range right away. So we recalibrated the guide scope, ran some test frames, performed a 3-star polar alignment, and started collecting data.
With the replacement in and tested, we were ready to resume imaging. But there's always a twist. The timing wasn't ideal. By the time the focuser was repaired, the November supermoon had moved in, and we realized that the best we could do at this point was test our sequence and maybe get some usable hydrogen alpha data until the moon phase changed.
This is part of astrophotography. Hardware fixed, but Mother Nature sets the schedule.
Meanwhile, here are a few of the hydrogen alpha test frames we made during the full moon. We collected data for SH2114, the Flying Dragon, and IC434, which is the Horsehead Nebula. If your focuser fails, document everything, run the normal equipment checks, collect logs, and make a lot of short videos to document what you have done, and contact the manufacturer. They're going to ask for documentation of the problem, so you should have that ready in advance.
Keep all your email threads clearly labeled in the attachments and know your warranty provisions. If your telescope is at a remote observatory, you're probably going to need to have your technician there swap out any replacement parts. This is one of the reasons I chose DSP Remote, and in a previous video I explained that I didn't want my telescope to be part of a huge telescope farm where I would have to take a number and wait for servicing. At DSP Remote, the team there replaced the focuser the day the new one arrived. Thanks for joining our slightly dramatic focuser saga. Clear skies, and see you soon.
And remember, sometimes the force means calling support. Good luck out there.